Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of The Winning Streak. I am your host, Bryson.
And I'm Zeke.
And today we have just a few NBA topics to cover, so without further ado, we'll get straight into it. First to talk about is Celtics Heat Game 7.
Game 7 was just it was a blowout.
Yeah,
But
pretty much, yeah.
simply, I mean, it was never really super close, I guess.
Not really. I wouldn't really
I mean,
give
there was
the Celtics too much credit for their game that night at all.
yeah, they pretty much trailed by 10 all game, and then they ended up losing by like 19 or something like that.
Yeah,
So,
they should have done a
I
lot
mean,
better.
it's just I'll give them props for making it to Game 7 because I feel like a lot of teams would have gave up about after going down 3-0. And have you heard the
no
story
doubt.
about Al Horford's Top golf trip?
I did not.
Apparently after game 3, they didn't the coach was saying they lost the locker room, and they said that the only thing that really got him back excited was Al Horford told the coaching staff that he wanted to bring the whole team out to go to Top Golf, and that's what happened. Unless I fell for a made up story, but I'm pretty sure that was real.
It sounds
There's a good chance. There's a good chance I
enough.
might have got false exports.
Yeah.
But
I think what made the
something Al
difference.
Horford would do.
It is. What made the difference though was three-point shooting.
Yeah, 3-pointers. Yeah.
Miami shot 14 for 28, shot a perfect 50%. Celtics 9 for 42, 21%.
It's pitiful. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
I mean, Caleb Martin really stepped up. Should have been Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
Yeah, for sure.
Jimmy did his thing for the first time in the last few games.
Yeah, Jimmy finally picked it up again.
28 points. Bam, did his thing. Almost a triple-double.
I didn't even realize that. Kyle Lowry
went 12,
had a good role-playing
game. Kyle Lowry really isn't that important to that squad to me, to be honest. He really doesn't do much out there.
Yeah, I think he's a good role player, and he's really good to have.
Role player. I
don't want to say they could or couldn't win without him, but
I mean, he went 7 points, 5 assists, 7 boards.
Yeah,
it's just
role player stats.
He only played 24 minutes, to be fair.
Yeah,
but I mean, Caleb Martin played 45 minutes, so
yeah, that was
it's
pretty crazy.
It's pretty interesting. I wonder what's his contract situation?
Caleb Martin, I think it's
imagine he's on a 1 year because of.
I think he's on a 4-year.
Really?
I think they signed him to a bigger contract.
You go ahead and look that up because my hand's showing.
I'm trying.
I do it. I mean, Caleb Martin's really solid, and
3-year, $20 million contract.
Cody Martin.
So 3-year, $20 million deal.
That's a bargain right there.
It's pretty good, yeah. He could definitely get a lot more.
In free agency right now, he could get easily probably 15, 20 a year.
Yeah.
Just with how the market is. I mean, a few years ago, if you said that a guy like Caleb Martin was going to be making 20 a year, I mean, guys that come to mind is Chandler Parsons when he was making 28 mil when he got the max in the 2016 offseason.
I don't know.
I mean,
I think guys are
making
he's been now. Yeah. He helped obviously the most in that series.
They wouldn't have made the finals without him, for sure.
No, definitely not.
They would have been lucky to win 3 games against the Bucks in the first round without him.
I feel like he didn't really pick it up.
He really didn't do
early on.
But I feel like people actually I mean, he was there when Jimmy was missing games.
Yeah. He was the guy who was able to step up for the team.
Jimmy miss game 3, right? Or
I honestly don't remember. I want to say it was one of the.
Because I remember him and Giannis were out one game, and
I think that was the game they lost.
The Heat still won that game.
Did they?
I think. I don't know.
I can't remember which game it was.
I can't remember from memory. So.
Yeah. But the only thing, with the Celtics, they need to know when to stop shooting. Because if you don't
get
it going.
Shooting, and as you said at the end of last episode, or somewhere in last episode, that they're a shooting team, but they don't shoot good. So
Yeah, that's not how it works in the NBA. And
yeah,
then
it's
points in the
reminded me a lot
paint,
of
turnovers, everything else was pretty
the
similar.
2017 Rockets.
Hmm
Did they shot like 0 for 27
I think so.
in Game 7 or something like
I'm
that?
pretty sure it was something like that. It might have been worse, honestly.
I think it might have been 0 for 32 or something like that.
But I think everything else was pretty much the same, except the Heat had more assists. And other than that, the same game. The
Yeah,
Celtics just did
it's
terrible.
just like
That's all.
Celtics really need to like change their team a lot.
Yeah.
And the problem is how they're lined up right now with contract situations.
They need to
Two,
figure it
yeah,
out,
their
which
two
we'll
star
get to.
players.
But overall, just like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a quick message, they need to figure that out.
They need to figure it out.
But on the topic of the Heat,
Yeah,
finals
game one.
game 1 did not go good for them. It could have gone a lot worse. It should
I
have
mean,
gone a lot worse.
yeah,
It
and
looked a lot
especially I
worse.
feel like they definitely could have won that game if they weren't dealing with guys like Max Strutz and Caleb Williams. Or
Yeah,
not Williams,
and
my bad, Caleb Martin.
I was gonna
They
say,
played
and Caleb
horrible.
Martin. Yeah, I think
He
altogether,
showed why he didn't deserve that 20 million, like I said.
yeah. Max Strus had 0 points. I'm pretty sure he went 0 for 9 or 10 from 3.
I think it was 0 for 7. I think together they went like 0 for 12 or something like that.
Still, that's insane.
It's horrible. Like at what point do you stop shooting threes? And
Yeah.
I think what's understated is people were talking about Jimmy Butler carrying, but he wasn't carrying at all.
No, he had 13,
He had
7, and
13,
7.
7, and 7 in 38 minutes. Like that's horrible.
Yeah, you gotta
Bam
do
was the only
a lot
Bam
better.
was the only guy doing anything out there besides Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent's actually pretty solid.
Gabe Vincent is super just consistent and just good.
Yeah, he
He's
puts
just
up
good to
points when
have.
you need it.
Bam, though, when I was watching, I was thinking the same thing. He had a huge game offensively.
Hmm
He was making
He's
tons of shots.
I mean, unfortunately, he couldn't contain Jokic, but I mean, they didn't put up a lot of points. So
No one can.
to be honest, I'd consider that a contain in my book. If you're only holding the Nuggets that have went like 120 above every game, that might be a
Yeah, to
stretch.
104.
But a team that regularly scores like 110 plus, and you're gonna hold them to 104, and I think that's probably the best that you're gonna get the entire series.
Yeah.
Another guy was Haywood Highsmith, put up 18
Yeah.
in 23 minutes, which that's really good. That's like
Yeah, it was kind of surprising. He did his thing though. He had 18 points, 2 rebounds. Just kind of in there to play.
yeah.
Wasn't in there to change the game. He was just in there to get his stuff done. He probably did better than expected, really.
Yeah. They
None on the Nuggets end, though.
They should have put in Udonis Haslem. Maybe they want to go put one again.
Should have played Jovic. Jovic versus
Yeah,
Jokic.
yeah, that would have been great. He would have
Jokic
got 90
hit
points dropped on
insane.
his head.
Jokic had
He did his thing.
27, 10, and 14,
Mhm.
which is average for Jokic, weirdly.
Yeah,
Michael Porter,
it's crazy.
14 points, 13 rebounds, 1 assist. Not bad, but for 43 minutes,
It's a little iffy.
not good.
I won't lie.
Jamal Murray did really good, 26, 6, and 10. He's just been consistent, I would say. Like,
Yeah.
there's not really a problem with him right now. That's who
I
they
think
should
that
stop.
Nuggets team is incredibly complete, and I think they really got like. They just didn't get the media coverage. I think that people that really watch basketball knew that the Nuggets had a chance to win this year.
Yeah.
But I feel like the media was really covering into like the Lakers. They just like they want to watch the super teams, and I get it.
Yeah.
Like that's what brings people in. But like the Nuggets were always a good enough team.
Yeah,
to
they
win the
have been,
finals.
honestly.
When you think
They've just
about it,
been
like
dealing
guys
with
like Bruce
other
Brown,
stuff.
who would regularly start on most of these teams, is like
Yeah.
their sixth option. So
Yeah.
like it's
I
really
think the
like
Nuggets have been ready to win. They just haven't really.
they've been putting that team together for, I mean, almost 4 years.
Yeah, and it's paying off now. They're about to win 1, maybe 2 chips in a row if they can keep it all together next season. Not with KD being on the Suns. Let's be real.
That's not good.
KD on the Suns next year is going to be top tier. I got that coming. But apart from that, on the topic of that, what's your prediction for the rest of the finals?
Prediction. I want to say that I want to see that series go to 6, but unless the Heat really pick it up, I can see them losing in 5 probably.
Yeah, I'm thinking Nuggets in 4 or 5.
I don't want to say 4 because like one, that just wouldn't be fun to watch, and two, like
Yeah.
I feel like final sweeps, just like besides the like LeBron Warriors era.
Yeah.
I don't even say Cavs there because it was LeBron on the year they got
It
swept.
was, yeah.
I mean, okay, that's another thing. People understate that team as well. They brought in so many role players that year,
Yeah.
and
Just didn't
okay,
work out.
got a little sidetracked there, but I like I I think 5 or 6 would probably be the way to go. I don't see the Heat winning that series anyway.
No, I definitely don't see them
Unless
winning.
a major injury happens, like Jamal Murray goes out, but still,
I
I
don't
wouldn't be
think
shocked if the Nuggets
yeah,
could lose that series, to be honest.
because you lose Jamal Murray, you got Bruce Brown, Jeff Green, and even Christian Brown. I would say, I wouldn't want to start him under any means, but you
Yeah.
could. He's good. He's one of the better rookies. I would
Another
say.
thing that's a shame is if they kept like a guy like Bones Highland, they would have been completely fine in that situation.
Yeah, that is true. He was.
So that was
When did they cut him?
they traded him for a second round pick at the trade deadline for the Clippers.
Really? And then he did pretty good,
I would
if I
like to say
remember.
somebody else was in that trade too, but I don't remember.
He's pretty solid player. They could have.
He is. I don't
But
know.
I mean,
He's
overall,
another
they're
guy that I
probably
feel
going to
like is
get
a little
more value.
overrated. They
Yeah.
kind of hyped up like he was going to be like a Shea
Yeah.
alternative, but he's
not.
He isn't all that.
No one's
Put
really
up
on
like
that
15
level,
points
though.
like one time in like 10 minutes, and they hyped him up like he was going to be the next Shea.
Yeah.
But I mean, what's your in-depth prediction on the series? Like,
What do you mean, like who's gonna do what, or?
like do you? I don't even know where I was going with that, to be honest. But like, just like
I'll go with how I interpreted
okay,
it. I got
yeah. Let's go
Jokic
with that.
Finals
Let's go with that.
MVP, Jokic leader in
Jokic-
every
okay,
stat. That's
how
all.
about that? Yeah, that's fair. I mean, there's a chance there that I would guess like Jamal Murray like really picks it up and wins Finals MVP. But I
It's
think
just
they're
not
giving it to
likely.
Jokic no matter what.
I feel like even if Jokic does, like if Jamal Murray averages a triple double the next few games and Jokic just plays really
Okay,
like
I think
single
I figured
stats,
out
he'll still
my
get it.
follow up to that question. So like, in what situation do you see like the Heat can pull out that series and win?
Ugh. I don't see. I mean, Jokic
There's
getting
no,
injured.
there's really
That's
no
it.
there's no scenario in your head that they can win that series.
Jokic getting injured. That's it. But that
lose
doesn't
by that
happen.
much. In my head, there's still a chance. Like depending how they play tomorrow in Game
The
2,
series
like we don't
or a
even really
game?
know. I think they can win the series, but
I
I
don't
don't
see that
think
happening.
it's gonna happen. But there's when there's a will, there's a way, I guess.
Yeah,
But
I mean, there is always a
I
chance,
think
but
I think you can't understate Jimmy Butler. But I mean, I don't know. I guess like
I see what you
they
mean.
lost.
But
I mean, they in 2010.
like,
Not 2010. Where am I going with this? 2020 in the bubble series. I mean, that series went to 6, right? And they
yeah,
lost game 1. So I mean, you never really know.
that's true. But I mean, this Nuggets team is like one of the. It's the best built
Yeah.
team in the NBA.
They're truly like the only home built super team left.
Yeah, they're
'Cause, I
just
mean-
complete. Like, they don't need anything. They shouldn't. Like a team that doesn't need anything and could afford to lose something as well, if you know what I mean. Like that,
Yeah.
you can't beat that. Especially being the Heat. Like, as we saw, inconsistent players.
Yeah.
Coaching,
I mean, Duncan,
not no coaching.
another thing
calling
understated.
cards.
Yeah, because Eric Spoelstra is really good.
Yeah.
He's probably the best coach in the NBA in my opinion.
Yeah.
I can't think of anybody else that I would like consider to be a better coach off the top of my head. I feel like a lot of people
No,
would say Greg Popovich, but I
I
don't
don't think so. I
think
think
that highly of Greg Popovich.
Mike Brown this season, not like
Yeah, but
overall,
I
but
Mike Brown is like one of those guys that kind of gets passed around, kind
yeah,
of like Monty, which we'll get
yeah,
to that a little bit later.
yeah. I did want to ask though, if the Heat win, would you
Mhm.
consider it to be the greatest playoff run ever?
I would say, in my opinion, yes, they would be the best playoff run of all time. Because I mean, no other eighth seed has won the finals. I mean, the closest we got was in '99, I think.
I think
I
so.
believe the '99 Knicks. Um, I believe the '99 Knicks that played the seven seed, Spurs in the finals
Oh,
were the
was it
only
the
eight
seventh
seed to
and
ever
eighth?
make that full. I think so, off the top of my head. That would be Tim Duncan's second or rookie year.
Let me check it out just to see.
Is that elite ball knowledge? If I'm right,
Knicks versus Spurs.
I might have got those seeds
Uh,
off. I don't remember.
so
That was a lockout year though, so it wasn't
yeah,
like it was kind of like the bubble.
yeah, which still counts.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
so
mean, not
yeah,
in
the
my opinion, but
Spurs
like,
Spurs won. Duncan got Finals MVP, and yeah, so 1999 it was the eighth versus the seventh seed, I believe.
yeah.
It's not showing.
So is that elite ball knowledge?
Yes. No, it was the Spurs were the number one
I
seed
just
though.
wanted to hear you say it.
Yeah.
Oh, were they? Okay, so I
Yeah.
got that
So
wrong.
no, it's not elite ball knowledge. It's no ball knowledge.
But the Knicks were eighth seeds, so that's
Yeah.
elite knowledge.
They lost in 5 games. So
Yeah.
we're gonna see a repeat of that this year.
Yeah.
4 or 5 games, the 8th seed loses to the 1 seed. It makes
Yeah.
sense.
That'd be pretty cool. I'd be fine with that.
I'd be fine with
I
it. I
mean,
want to see Jokic get
that
a ring.
Knicks team wasn't half as good as this Miami team, but
Yeah, no.
yeah.
But then again, it was 99, so
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to
that's fair
compare.
enough, I guess. Not really though, because I mean, like their best player was like Sprewell,
Yeah.
and they had like an old Patrick Ewing, so
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
true.
really know. I wouldn't compare those teams. I'd say that the Heat could have easily been like a top three seed this year, but they played bad in the regular season, had injury issues and all that.
Yeah. I think they just
So
struggled with.
I think that might take away from the greatest playoff run agenda. Is that
Yeah.
that team actually was an eighth seed caliber?
Yeah. I wouldn't consider them. I mean, to be fair, though, I can't think of a playoff run that could be noted as better, I guess. It's kind of hard.
Off the top of my head, like a better playoff run would be the
I guess you could say the 3-1 comeback, but that's not the whole
It's
run.
not exactly a run. I mean, that was one of the LeBronto years, I guess.
Yeah.
So that I mean that would be a cool playoff run. One that comes to mind though is the one of those Lakers teams in the early 2000s. The
Which one?
I might have been 2000, the year Shaq won MVP, but I would like to say they went 15-1 in the playoffs.
Oh, really?
And I think off the top of my head, another team that did that was the Warriors in 2016.
Did they?
I
You know
before
what? Too
I
much to
think
look
I would
up.
like to say before the
The
3-1.
comeback?
I
Yeah.
think they only had like one loss up to that point.
Dang. I don't even. I don't even remember that.
Or maybe that might have been 2018. I think that would make more sense because they swept
Yeah.
in the playoffs. Because you can't play that many games without.
Yeah. No. They just that team was too dominant for
Yeah, I
the
mean
3-1
KD
comeback
on that team
was
was insane.
one of the best moments in just sports in general. Like that was
Yeah,
crazy.
I literally distinctly remember
Yeah.
that entire game.
I remember literally everywhere, like everything I was doing, everywhere I was, like watching the
Yeah,
games and stuff. It was
I was in the
insane.
car, driving to San Diego.
I was at Disneyland watching the game.
Really?
Yeah, there was like just huge crowds just watching the game. Like no one even
That
cared
that was
about
just
being at
like
Disneyland.
that game was insane. Like the block.
The block was sport changing. What else? Oh, to coaching. Since we were just talking about Eric Spoelstra, the new 76ers coach, Nick Nurse.
Nick
really wanted him.
Nurse would be the perfect coach for the Suns. Okay,
Yeah, I
like
know. I wanted
I
him.
feel like that can't be understated. He was the perfect coach for that team. And
Yeah.
it's disappointing that the Sixers got to him first, but I'm actually content with Vogel, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like
we got Vogel. I'm
I
not.
think I
eh.
think he's a better coach than Monty Williams.
Oh, I thought you were gonna
And
say then Nick Nurse.
oh no. Well, I actually don't think Nick Nurse is like that great of a
Yeah.
like strategic coach, but I think he's a good locker room guy while being a decent like strategy
Yeah.
coach
I was gonna say
compared
he
to
knows how
Monty
to work with.
Williams,
He
who
knows how
was
to work with
hired.
players.
Monty Williams was hired to be a chemistry guy and then ended up ruining the team chemistry.
Yeah.
So I think truly anybody can be better.
That is fair. I can agree with that because, I mean, Nick Nurse is more of like a players guy. Like you go to
Hmm.
him to coach like the players. You don't just go to him to like say, like I need specific plays like perfectly drawn out. Like you just he
Yeah.
gets the players to do their thing.
I think
But
I agree with that because I mean honestly he kind of got his fame from that Kawhi run, and I don't think
yeah,
he had very much to do with that run. But
no,
like
honestly,
off the top of your head, what can you think of? Like he made like some like good timeout call or something like anything crazy in the
no, I
finals that
don't.
year. Like
Maybe I don't even know if he did draw it up, but if he
I feel
did,
like
then the play against the
the
76ers.
Sixers, yeah. I honestly doubt it. I feel like
It
Kawhi
looks
probably
like it was
willed that.
drawn up.
It might have been drawn out, but there's like I feel like I don't know.
Overall,
Let's
though,
just
the
say
shot was way better than the play.
yeah.
So regardless, it really he's still though like having him could definitely up the locker room. Could get Aiton to want to play the game again. Like it could just get all of
Hmm.
them more just kind of connected. I feel like he could be a good chemistry coach. Like we
Yeah,
needed.
I feel like he was good with the Lakers in the bubble year 2020.
Yeah.
I feel like they had a lot of like smart pickups that year, a
Hmm.
good bench.
Yeah, they did. They just had a really good team, honestly. Like the bubble Lakers was a really good team, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I feel like that team was really understated. Like Dwight Howard had one of the best years of his recent career. I
Yeah.
mean, I kind of split his career into two halves. Like anything after 2014 is a different Dwight Howard, but like, um, he did really good that year, and I mean, Anthony Davis did his thing that year, and I think that's
Yeah,
really what got them there.
AD did a lot for them that year. And yeah, I was gonna say like if AD could have played, I don't want to say better because he did play really good, but if he didn't
Hmm.
have the inconsistent games this year, it could have gone, I think, better for the Lakers.
Yeah,
I don't want to say they would have beat the Nuggets because I don't think they
I
could
think
have.
that Lakers team could have beat those
I think they
Nuggets, to be
could
honest.
have, but I don't
I
think
think that
they
I
would have
think
in
the
any scenario.
2020, the 2021 Suns could have beat that Nuggets team.
Really,
Yeah, that's my hot take of the day. I think that
that is a very hot take.
2021 Suns team was better than any team the uh the Suns could have put together with KD. I feel like DeAndre Ayton was playing good, so we had a
Yeah,
center. Mikal Bridges was doing exactly what he needed to do,
yeah,
and Cam Johnson, Torrey Craig wasn't awful like he is
yeah.
now. Um, I mean,
It's not a super
even
hot
like
take, honestly.
you really like
It's a
that
hot take, but
sounds bad coming
it's
off like coming
reasonable.
out of my mouth, but like when you really look into it, that team wasn't that much better.
Yeah,
Like
they just had. I feel like we had a more well-built team at that time.
yeah, and I mean Chris Paul was still good at basketball,
Yeah,
so he's not
which
he wasn't
helped.
CP0.
Yeah. I wonder if we're gonna. Well, I guess that could kind of go into this topic. Harden's free agency.
I think that a lot of people are saying he's going to the Rockets, and I see it.
I've been
I
seeing
wonder if
that. It's
there's
dumb.
some type of sign and trade deal that they could do,
Why would he
probably
want to go
including
there?
Jalen Green. I think he just wants to do like a reunion, and if you know his history with strip clubs in Houston, I
That's
think
true.
maybe he wants his jersey to be unretired.
Yeah. I mean, I just I don't think he is even a good fit there at this point.
I think that they
That team is so
probably
bad.
would rebuild their whole core, and I think that also ties into um, Jaylen Brown going to Houston. And
Yeah,
the thing is, with their current contract situation, they can for sure afford both of them. And
yeah,
I think that team would be insane. That two guard combo would be
yeah,
incredible. Keep guys like Segun at center and bring in some better like veteran players because that team's really young. And I think that
yeah.
team could easily steal like a top five seed, top four.
I
So I
think
mean the West is a
if
little
they were
tough
able
right
to
now,
get
but I
both,
don't know.
if they were able to get both James Harden and Jalen Brown, I think it could. I think they might get like around the fifth or fourth seed, like maybe a third seed, but I don't really think they would be able to do much in the playoffs because of how young they are, and they're probably not going to want to
Yeah.
trade their young guys at this
I
point.
think I've heard a lot of things about that Jalen Green has done in Houston
Oh,
because he
really?
isn't very good. Well,
Yeah.
he's not horrible, and that's a thing that like I feel like people kind of hate on him a little bit, but he isn't good enough to be like a franchise guy.
No.
So
No way.
yeah, obviously. Um, and I think that's the root of the problem, and you got to move a guy like that if you're trying to build a Duke squad.
Yeah.
So that's like I feel like that's the only way around it. And
He would be
to be
really
honest,
good
all
with
the other young
both of
players on
them.
that team besides Segun aren't very good.
Yeah.
So you don't really have to worry about the rest of that young team. You just bring in like older guys that are going to be taking smaller contracts.
Yeah.
Maybe Dwight Howard, I guess.
I don't even. He's not going to want to leave
Yeah,
at
he's
this
not leaving
point.
Taiwan. Let's be
I
real.
think he's
But
happy there.
I think talking about Jaylen Brown leaving ties into the Celtics' future, like we were talking about at the beginning of the
Yeah.
episode.
They need to
Um,
split up Tatum and Brown.
I think that they can't afford both, so they're gonna have to split them
No.
up anyway. If they can figure out, I don't even think they can do a signing trade. I don't know how those rules work.
Me neither.
I don't think they can, but I don't. He might be a restricted free agent. I don't remember
I'm not really sure where we're talking about
because
Jalen
they.
Brown, right?
I mean, besides Houston, I've heard Portland as well for
I
Jaylen
feel like
Brown.
every single time a trade rumor comes up, Portland is talked about though.
Somebody has already edited a picture of every
Yeah,
single player
it's
in the NBA next to Dame Lillard, and the problem is there's a probably higher chance of any of those players getting traded. Like there's a higher chance of Dame getting traded anywhere in the world, not even in
yeah,
the NBA, than any of those players probably ever showing up. I remember seeing like LeBron, and honestly,
yeah,
this is
like
where it started. The root of the problem was when like a few years back there was just like I remember hearing that KD might go there, and I think that's when it really started. And this was like the year when he was leaving, because believe that might be the same year or the year before when LaMarcus Aldridge left
oh really?
Portland. And I remember they had room for another star, and I heard people
Yeah.
saying KD was going to go to Portland because he almost got drafted by Portland, and that was the whole thing.
Hmm.
Um, and
They
like
already missed their
I really
chance.
can't. Yeah, I mean, have you heard anything?
About to Portland?
Yeah, or not just Portland, but anything else about the Tatum Brown situation? Because I
No.
mean,
I've heard the
all I
same
can
thing
think
about the
of
Rockets.
is the only thing I can think of is there's no situation where they let Tatum walk. He's their clear
No.
guy, even though I don't think
Yeah.
he's that much better than Jaylen Brown.
No, he's
Um,
not.
but there really
Jalen, he's
isn't.
just not the number one guy. Jalen Brown, he just like he could be the number one guy if Jason Tatum wasn't there. And Jason Tatum
Yeah,
doesn't
I think he could
necessarily
be a
have
number
to
one
be the
guy
one guy.
in a lot of places. I think he could be the. Okay, that makes me think. A good spot for Jaylen Brown is Indiana. I think that team would be perfect, to be honest. I think their cap situation should be good if they move guys like Buddy Hield, but
Yeah.
like if you put him with Tyrese Halliburton and like um Ben Mathurin and Miles Turner, that team can win a championship. And
Yeah,
I
him
don't.
and Miles Turner would be a
Well,
tough
the
duo.
problem is they would have to grow a little bit because I mean Tyrese Halliburton is young, but I think Tyrese
Mhm.
Halliburton is a sneaky like top five point guard in the league.
He's experienced,
but
yeah.
he's a true point guard, and I
Yeah.
think even for his size, I mean, he's like small forward size, but
Hmm.
I think he's actually probably the true like best like playmaker. I mean, he averaged like 11 assists this year,
Yeah,
so
he was doing good this year.
I think that team would really fit Jalen Brown because I mean he's a scorer. So
He wants to be, yeah.
if you let him sit there and put up 30 points a game with a good core around him and Tyrese Halliburton passing him the ball, that team is gonna have like other
That could
teams are gonna
definitely
have a
work
really
out.
hard time stopping him. And I mean they have a high pick this year, I believe. So they could
I
really
think
get
so,
something
yeah.
done this year if they really want to go after him. But I think he does want to go big market. So it
I was
really
gonna say, yeah, I don't think he would want to go there,
I mean, off the
even if
top of
it's
my
not
head, what
his
markets
choice.
he could go to the Knicks. That's really the only big team I can think of
Hmm.
that he'd really fit in, and with contract situation in mind. I mean, there's the Nets, but I don't really see that. But I mean, that team would be pretty
No,
cool.
I think
I mean,
I think you're right
I
about the
think the
Pacers being perfect for him because,
I think the
like you were
Pacers is the
saying
best
with the
spot, but he
offense,
won't pick up the team. I mean, he could go to Toronto as well
yeah. But I feel like he wants to be
and
somewhere
do
that
his
would
thing
win
there.
too. I feel like it's not for him all
Yeah,
about him doing good. He wants to be
I
on a
don't know
winning
though.
team and be the best player.
He hasn't really been outspoken about like caring about winning. So
I feel
I
like he
think
kind
he's
of just
more of
gives that
like
off.
gets to be the star kind of guy.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
that's what I feel like he could fit in really well in a team that doesn't have a star, but still win games like in Indiana or the Knicks, for example. Him and Jalen Brunson would be pretty solid, but he would be
that'd be
allowed to be
good.
the main guy. And then I mean, same thing with Toronto. They still have Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam. So
Which is
those
weird
teams
to
could
me.
all work pretty well. It seems off, especially because like every team I've looked at so far is in the same division as the Celtics, so that'd be like a big
Yeah.
rivalry thing, which
Yeah.
could be a cool storyline.
Just like beat them in the play. They beat the Celtics in the playoffs.
Yeah,
It could be cool. I think. I think he should go to the Pacers, like we were just talking about. But I feel like
yeah,
he'll probably end up.
he
If
probably
James
will.
Harden goes to the Rockets, I feel like some stupid like, oh, they're building a super team in Houston, and
Yeah,
then they turn into a 6 seed that loses, and like
yeah. Another like
they
kind
would
of
need
like
too much time for
okay.
Harden.
Another thing that goes into that is if Harden leaves, what happens to Embiid? Does Embiid stay?
Yeah,
Does he get traded? And I mean, if he gets traded, where does he go? I'm thinking OKC.
that'd be pretty crazy.
They have infinite picks. They can
Yeah,
trade 10 first round picks and not bat an eye. So
that is true.
I think that's probably a perfect setup, to be honest. And I think OKC desperately wants Harden to leave, no matter
Yeah,
what.
that makes sense.
And
I
I mean,
mean,
there's always Harden to the Suns, but I don't really see that happening.
I don't want that happening
Me
either.
either, to be honest. I'd rather us invest that $50 million into bench
Role
players,
players, yeah.
but I mean that's really all we have to talk about until I mean like
I did
next
have one more
episode.
thing that you just made me think of.
What?
I
Let's hear it.
saw a thing earlier. I don't know how I felt about this. It's a pretty good debate. I think so. Victor Wembanyama
Hmm.
is clear pick for rookie of the year.
Yeah. I mean, he's the obvious pick off the top of
Technically,
my head.
it's still Chet Holmgren's rookie season
Yeah,
coming up.
Chet, they could battle it out for
That would be fun.
another guy that we should have a guest on here eventually. Caden. He was talking
Hell.
about that Chet's still going to win Rookie of the Year.
I was
Um,
thinking about that. Like, I don't think
okay,
it's gonna happen. I feel
another
like
thing that comes
Victor's
to
better
mind.
than him.
Another thing that comes to mind right now is what Stephen A. Smith said about John Morant. Do you remember that?
I think so. I
He
don't
said
remember.
that in the inner NBA circle says that believes that John Morant may not be alive in 5 years.
Okay, yeah, I do remember seeing that.
Like what?
It's a
What is the
stretch.
basis on that? Like who
I
came
don't
up with
know.
that? So like what's the thought process? Do they think he's gonna kill himself in the next 5 years?
They're probably just
Or
trying
do
to.
they think he's gonna get in a gang war with
Yeah,
young boy and die in the
yeah.
next 5 years? Like what is the thought process
I
on
don't
that?
know. I think they just, for some reason, need to talk about him more. I
Yeah,
don't.
I think
I don't
that because
understand
I
that.
mean the NBA said they were gonna announce what his punishment was. Like it was like some
Oh,
kind of
did
like
they?
pay-per-view thing. They said they were gonna announce it between games one like 1 and 2. I think it might have been 3 and 4, but or 2 and 3.
Why are they taking so
Somewhere in
long
between
to
the games,
decide?
they're gonna announce it like a big press conference. Like, why are they doing it? like that.
They're
It's
making it
weird,
way
but
too big of a deal.
I think that's a good way to finish off the episode. To be
Yeah,
honest,
just with John Morant going to
John
NBA
Morant's
jail.
gonna is going to he's never broke again, not National Basketball Association.
He's becoming broke again.
Yeah,
I mean, soon enough, but
yeah,
hopefully. I mean,
yeah. I
game
mean,
two
I want to
tomorrow.
hear I want to hear some like response to this video because I mean we need some
Some more views.
reaction about
Oh yeah, that
not
too.
just views but like how our new setup is. We didn't even mention it. This is our first episode that's gonna be
Yeah,
virtual. So
maybe
I mean,
4 or 5 more,
if you
hopefully.
make it this far into the video, hopefully maybe you'll let us know if you want some guests on the videos. I mean, you can volunteer.
Yeah,
We'll try to get you in
I
some
mean,
calls. That'd be
we're
cool.
open to any suggestions on our Instagram
Yeah.
account, especially is where we're most active.
Instagram, of
So
course. You can let us know how you thought about episode 2 being the the video format on Spotify and Apple if you watched it through there. I thought that
yeah,
was a
that's
little
true.
interesting, but I mean, I think just we'll see you next week.
Yeah, sounds good. So we will see
Yep.
you guys on Saturday with more finals coverage. So
Hmm.
thank you for watching.